What's happening, AC Nation? Zach is here for another Minisode Monday. Today, we're going to be talking about the morale booster contest. That's right. I want to find out how much morale you can get one turn without breaking any rules. So you start off with Charles Babbage as one of your cards. You get 4 other cards you get to choose, and you get to choose the whole scenario that's on the board. Now, since I put out this contest last week, I think it was last Monday, we've had a whole bunch of questions. And so this is why I'm doing this video, so you can see exactly how to answer this scenario and get the most morale. Now, at the same time, if you look in the comments, I'm going to be putting the link to the contest, sending in your entries. So you do it actually on a form. We send it out on Wednesday in the new newsletter. So send out, so go to that link or on the comment center. So look down and put in your entry. Put it there. Don't send it to me because we want to keep them all together and you're not going to get any lost. And that's the only way of tracking and making sure that you go to the right spot. Okay, so here's some of the questions that were asked. This one is from Luke F. He says, we can only play Cabbage and 2 other cards in our hand. I said, no, actually, you can play Babbage. Sorry, I think he said Cabbage. Babbage and 4 other cards. So 4 other cards is basically the 5 cards that are in your hand. Which 5 cards would you like to play? Babbage being one of them. And then the scenario on the board. We choose what characters and lands we have to play. Yes, you play up to 2 lands on your board. So in this scenario that's on your board, you can have 2 lands, 4 cards above each of those lands. You have 1 other opponent as well. So 1 opponent, you have 2 lands, you get to write the scenario. They also have the limit of only 2 lands as well. So, and then it says number 3, and it's only 1 turn. It's not a round, it's just 1 turn. It's your turn, that's it. We can choose what cards are already in our discard pile. Yes, the discard pile is also your choice. So you can grab cards from there. Now, I want to see how someone can abuse that. So as of right now, that's what it is. We'll get back to what it should be. Maybe that would be abused. I don't know yet, so we're going to find out. Okay, so that's from Luke. Now let's go up to this one is Caleb. Caleb M. Thank you. Oh, actually, you gave me the start of yours, and I don't want to share that, so I'm not going to do this one. Let's go to the next one. It's in my email. Okay, this one is from Jacob F. Jacob asked if I use Illuminati to. Yeah, this is getting a little bit more questions when it comes to certain cards to use. So I don't want to read off his scenario. So I'm going to Jacob, I'm going to leave this one. I'm going to answer it to you personally, just because I don't want to give away some of the things. He says, here's the things that he did ask that are not his scenario. Can we pull out multiple technologies? Yes, you can. And play them once. Yes, you can, as long as it's within the regular rules. Oh, I got it. I know what you're talking. Okay, so we're going to bypass that whole question altogether. Okay, now we're going to do another one. He says, with the combo I just mentioned. Okay, his whole thing, I can't read this because it gives away too much of what he's thinking, and I don't want to give anyone else that same idea if you haven't already gotten some of it. Okay, so we're going to go to Jonah. Jonah had some good questions here. Actually, he had it all written in the same line. So I have done this morale test, but I have a few questions. May I use 0.0 cards? No, you can only do 1.0 and 2.0 cards. That means basically anything written after, I think, 2014. So look in the bottom. You'll see in the bottom of the bottom of the card, you'll see when it was copyrighted, when it was written. Then yes, as long as it's 2014 and newer, more recent than that. It says, and can I control what the first 2 turns were and were as including the morale gained in those turns? This is also where I think, how can this be abused? But we're going to play that. Yes, you can control what was played in the last 2 turns as well. Now it says, because if so, I can send a video in of something like well, okay, I think I should be able to say this, 9,000 morale. Now, I'm not saying how he did it. He's not telling me how he did it, but that's cool. Send in your 9,000 morale. See what you can do with that. And I'd love to see it. I would. Okay, and the first one, which is actually the last one, it says, hi, I accidentally put in the wrong name on my submission. Okay, that's not, yes, if you can actually enter multiple scenarios. You don't have to just limit it to one. So if you want to enter in one scenario that goes one direction and another scenario that goes another direction, or even the same direction, and then you change one thing just because you know the rules are questionable to you if you can actually bend the rules that way, then yes, do that. What we're actually going to do, just so you know, at the end, we're actually going to send this out and look for, I'll grab the highest morale points, and I'll say, okay, how do you, does this fall within the rules? Because I want you guys to decide this as well and see how to play it. Because I want you to see the different scenarios that you can do. Now, again, without Charles Babbage, we wouldn't be able to do this because this is the morale cap card. Charles Babbage makes it so you cannot go above a certain morale. So if you can get use him as the first card, and then 4 of the cards plus all the cards in your scenario, the discard pile, you have all control of that. What is the perfect scenario to get you the most morale? I interrupt this video with another question. Yes, I found another question after I was done. Actually, there's 7 questions, so this is very important, and I didn't want you guys to miss this. So before we end this video, I'm going to give you these 7 more questions from Simeon W. And a lot of you guys that go to the virtual tournaments, you know Simeon. And again, if you don't go to the virtual tournaments, let me tell you, on every Friday at 4 o'clock Central Standard Time, we have tournaments. So look for our newsletter, open it up, go down to the tournament section. There's a link for the main room. Come to our tournaments. They are fun. They are amazing. It is such a great time with all these players from all over the United States. So come join us in this virtual tournament. It's a great time and everyone has fun. I don't know anybody that doesn't have fun because they wouldn't come again. So these are all people that have been here for a long time. 2 main families. Shout out to the Wilsons and also the Fosters. And there's a few other ones that come as well, just sporadically. So we'd love to see you there. I mean, more the merrier. And I also have a helper so we don't ever miss one. So Charlie L is helping me set this whole thing up and run it every week. So here we go. So this is again from Simeon, and he has 7 questions. So here we go. Where do I submit my idea for highest morale? Great question. We have a form. It's going to be attached to the comments below. Please send it there. Number 2, can I play interrupts from my hand and not make it count for one of my 3 cards? Okay, so as we said, interrupts work during your turn only if they're in response to somebody else. So if your scenario plays with somebody doing something to you, you can respond with an interrupt. But during the turn, you can only play 3 cards. And then if someone attacks you or does something that reverses or something like that, then you can play those cards. So they'll end into your scenario, but you cannot just play 3 cards and then 2 more interrupts. So this is why I allow you to have whatever cards you want in your hand, -1, which is Charles Babbage. It has to be Charles Babbage. Okay, question number 3. Is it only me that is playing? Like if I have Frank Lloyd Wright and I want to play him, is there another person to play against? Okay, yes, there is. So the other person, there's one other person. You don't have a whole bunch, you just have one. So sorry if that gives away a little bit of your ideas. I'll try to limit the other ones because I see a few other names in here, and I'll keep it I'll cut out those questions if I need to. Will setting someone down a lot of morale instead of getting the highest morale also count for the highest morale? No, so this is only how high you can climb, not how far you can push someone down. It's how far you personally can climb, or your civilization. Can I do highest decrease morale or only highest morale gainable? Yes, it's highest morale gainable. maybe we'll also do one contest for a drop. So stay tuned for that. I think that's a great idea. Thank you, Simeon, for giving us that idea. Love to see it. The next one, will one of my actions have to be playing Charles Babbage? Yes, so that's one of your 3 cards that's played. So yeah, I gave you those 2 extra cards, but how are you going to do that around Charles Babbage? He's not a hold, he's a one-time. So can I use such and such? I'm not going to tell you which that is. Simeon, you're the only one that knows it. Yes, you may. No, you may not, because you can only play cards that are already already out. And that card, oh, actually, that's this month's card. So yes, you can. If someone figures out what we're talking about, what he's talking about, yes, you can use that card because it's this month's card. I'm just putting it out there. Search it out. What's this month's card? Okay, next one, number 7. How many cards can I start with in my battlefield and discard pile? Well, you can start off in your battlefield. You can start off with 2 lands, 4 cards, and 4 in your active area. I forgot to put that in the last part. So yes, you can have 4 in your discard or in your active area. Discard pile, go at it. Whatever you want in your discard pile. I know I'm going to regret saying that, but yes, because you're, well, as many as you could have within your first 2 rounds, because as I said, it's the 3rd round. So let's see, how many would that be? The first round you play a certain, no, it wouldn't be in your first. Oh, yes. Let's see. What did I say? Let me look this up. Okay, so let me tell you what's going through my mind right now. I told you that I set up the scenario. Oh, it was in the newsletter. That's what it was. So let me bring up the newsletter. That was the last question from Simeon. Thank you, Simeon, for putting that in. But now I got to go to the newsletter. Find out what I said. I set a scenario. Now we have to follow what the scenario says. It says, let me set the stage. You are in are 3 rounds in, so you're only in the 3rd round. Ooh, so that limits the cards you can play. Okay, that's very important. You're in the 3rd round, and you have Charles Babbage card in your hand, which allows you no morale max. What other 4 cards would you want in your hand to make the largest increase of morale in one turn? Aimless Fortune, it's not allowed. Okay, see, that's where I said Aimless Fortune is not allowed. What would you do to build that morale? How much could you gather? What would you want already in play? So I think that answers that question perfectly. Your 3rd round, how many cards do you have in the discard pile, in play, and in your active area? That's a limitation, but I want to see where you can get it there. The reason why we're doing that is because we want to limit how much you can do. But give us a perfect scenario within that time. That means you can only play 3 cards each of those turns. So 3 cards, 3 cards. So you can't have a max of 4 cards in each land. You can have a max of 4 cards in one of those lands, and the other one would only have 2. But then you want to have some in this scenario. Oh, so sorry, I didn't really realize this until just now. But you can only have enough cards to be in the 3rd round. We're gonna have to do another one of these further on. So it's any scenario. So we're gonna get you guys started, and then we'll get you into larger scenarios. Because we also have to do another contest that's the biggest morale drop as well. So stay tuned for all those things, and we're going to get back to you our regularly scheduled ending. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. If you have any comments or questions, add them to the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow, actually. Take care. Bye.